first presenter we introduce is Yvonne Wiebe from Altona. I believe I'm correct in saying that this is the first time that Yvonne has made a presentation to an audience like this. Let us, we, the community, support her as she comes up to give us a glimpse into her life.
So in June of 1997, when we moved into that house that we had prepared, I was unfit to be of much help. Shortly after that, my life fell apart. I just quit functioning altogether. Somehow, I got lost in that valley of darkness. I cried for help, and God heard my cry. Unfortunately, so did my husband. So Ken brought me to stay at Eden Mental Health Center. And the rest of that year was a blur. Excuse me. I was in and out of Eden, trying to get the right amount of the right medication, more or less for 7 months. When I was taken home on weekends, it wasn't home. Everything was so new and different. This may sound unbelievable. I know it did to me. I didn't know how to cook, do laundry, or even load the dishwasher. How could this be? I had just spent 25 years doing these very things. I lost about 25 pounds, and my hair was starting to thin. I hated showering. Everything, I mean everything, seemed like a big task. I spent most of my time in bed with the door closed. I did foolish things, like taking too many pills and drinking alcohol in order to fall asleep. Yet I felt badly that my illness was causing so much upheaval for our children and especially my husband in this new family. Yet Ken always responded to me lovingly, faithfully visiting me in Eden and taking me home when he could. He tried to understand me to the best of his ability. And he said he had to make a conscious decision every day to love me and to believe that I would get well again. Then came one of the most difficult decisions we ever had to make. Eden staff, and especially my doctor, had suggested that possibly I could benefit from ECT, that electroconvulsive therapy. And there were no guarantees that it would work. We were afraid, but I had come to the end of myself. Nothing seemed to be helping anyway. So we prayed earnestly about this, and we felt that God wanted me to accept this treatment. We reasoned I had nowhere to go but up. So the week before Christmas, I had 2 treatments, and then I had to trust God completely that he could and that he would heal me. And he did. God is dead all the time, right? He channeled his healing through the doctors, through treatments and medications, and through many, many prayers. And you're probably part of them. I had another 2 treatments between Christmas and New Year's Day. I had improved so much, it was decided that that was enough. I remember coming home New Year's Eve feeling so good, but Ken and I went to the church service in Altona, and I testified to the miracle that God had done in my life. It was that drastic. I compared it to from night to day. I wish I could say that we lived happily ever after, and I never felt depressed again. But as you know, this isn't a fairy tale. We're not actors, right? So to this day, I'm still taking 100 milligrams of an antidepressant medication once a day. And possibly I will, always, for life. But that is a very small price to pay for having my mental health. Now, 18 years later than that crisis, like now, I appreciate our house in town. I appreciate having the flowers in the yard, mowing the grass. I really appreciate using our pool all summer, doing the baking and laundry and all those things that we take so for granted. I take time to do quite a bit of volunteering, both with the very young and the very old. I also enjoy reading a good book and doing some handwork. Ken retired from his work at CFAM 7 years ago. So because of that, we've been able to do a fair bit of traveling, having spent time in Africa, Europe, Israel and Egypt, Mexico, the southern states, and especially the Canadian West Coast. We have a very important reason to visit BC because we have 2 grandchildren there. Plus we have one in Altoona and one in Morden. Grandparenting is by far our favorite pastime, and we really value our vacations in which we can include our family. I probably wouldn't cope with crises as well as I do now if I hadn't received help way back there. All I can say is praise the Lord for my mental health, and thank you to Eden for being there when I needed you.